Hey, happy day 574 of What's She Up To Now. She being Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, me. I know it's all about me. That's terrible. It's a terrible thing to have in a video, especially at the beginning, right? But when I named it 574 days ago, 575 days ago, I probably had the idea. I didn't know better. I didn't know that it should be all about you. So, all about you, let's talk about distractions today. I don't know about you, but I am easily distracted. Right now, I'm in the process. Okay, I've been in the process of moving for a long time. Let's be honest. I've been talking about moving probably for a couple of thousand days and finally gotten around to it in the last, couple of months and actually done it. So in a new location, new temporary location, and fixing up the old house. So today my sister and I are going shopping for floors and paints and carpets and colors and things like that because it's all going really, really fast. And we have to have paint colors and flooring picked out by tomorrow. So we have to have flooring picked out so we can have the paint colors picked out by tomorrow because the painters have got the house all taped and ready to go and they're starting painting tomorrow. So we need to have colors, and we can't have colors till we have the floor. I know it seems weird. Distraction. There you see what I'm talking about. Distractions. I also am hanging out with my 4-year-old granddaughter. Had her for a sleepover because she's going on vacation for 2 weeks and I'm not going to see her and I'm going to miss her. So I've been spending time hanging out with her. She's actually sleeping right now as I make my videos, which works out really, really well. So what is distracting you from what it is that you're trying to accomplish in your business? Since this is a business related project and video, I should be talking about my business stuff. Let's be honest, our lives get in the way all the time. What kind of things do you let distract you? Now, in the olden days, when I was younger and psycho and all I did was work, I let almost nothing distract me. And I actually feel a little bit guilty and remorseful over that because there were times that I got involved in my own businesses with the express reason of having more freedom and being able to spend more time doing things that I loved number one, doing things that I loved with my kids and my spouse, but that isn't the way it worked out. I ended up falling into the trap early on of creating a job for myself, and it wasn't really a job that I loved, instead of creating a business that I loved and a lifestyle that I loved. And it took me probably 15 years to figure out that I needed to create a business and an organization and a structure that supported me and actually made me feel good about it and that I liked and created the lifestyle that I wanted, not just, and the life that I wanted, not just the business. Because all of us can create a business, but if we don't love it, if we don't love the people we're serving, if we don't love what we're doing every single day, it's just like having a job. And actually, it's a lot more stressful and a lot more challenging and a lot more responsibility than just going out and getting a job and working for someone else and letting them have all the stress and all the doubt and all the worry and all the fear. And we just go and show up, do our thing, do what we're good at, and get paid for it. And then when we leave, we can leave it there. Now, I never had a job really that I could just leave when I left, but that's a lesson in what we choose to focus on as well and are distracted by. So distractions, what are some of the type things that get you distracted? I love if you share in the comments below. A lot of times if we don't pay attention to certain areas of our life, they might not be distractions originally because we might be ignoring them, but they will get louder and louder and louder until we do pay attention to them. And then they're not just distractions, they're actually obstacles or stopping points in our lives and in our careers. I did that for a long time. I did everything I thought I should be doing and paid attention to everything except my health and my well-being. And I got to the point where I was so stressed out and so overwhelmed that I actually had a sudden cardiac arrest. And I'm going to recommend that no one ever make choices that get them to the point of totally ignoring and not paying attention to your health. There's very few things that will stop us dead in our tracks as quickly as a health challenge, a disease, a health challenge, an injury. Those things, as important as we think work is or our businesses, those things will totally stop us dead. They will cause us to pay attention to them. So if we neglect them, I neglected my health for probably 10 or 15 years, at least, maybe 20. And I got a dead stop because of that, because I got the warning signs, I got the symptoms, I had the things that I should have paid attention to, but I wasn't paying attention. So the messages to me were, in terms of sickness and challenges, got louder and louder and louder until I actually was stopped dead in my tracks and I had to pay attention to it. And that's not just a distraction, that's an absolute stopping point. And sometimes that happens to us. Sometimes we get a diagnosis or a challenge, and we have to stop what we're doing and pay attention to that. Because if we don't pay attention to that, nothing else is going to matter. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to procrastinate. And I think why I'm thinking about distractions today is yesterday I actually purchased two people's, not full-fledged courses, a short course, a really short social media course from Blake Newbar, and a book from, and something else from Dana Derrick's about the Dream 100, because they're both things I'm working on the side. They're both part of my business. So I can justify that they're not really distractions, but they are actually kind of distractions from what it is that I'm doing. And I decided consciously I'm not doing the 7-day challenge this week. Number one, because I missed Monday. And I like to start my challenges on a Monday. I don't know why. Probably because Monday feels like the beginning of the week. But I'm not doing it. I may or may not pick it up during the One Funnel Away challenge. I'm actually going through the One Funnel Away challenge again. This is, I think, my 3rd time through. I like going through because it pulls me back and helps me focus on the basics for myself and for the people that I coach and work with. So I'm going to go through that again. We're on day 4 today, day 4. So far we talked about belief, which is, if our mindset and our belief isn't right, nothing else falls into place. And I, like everybody else, will say that I am challenged by that. That's why distractions and procrastination and things still chip away at me. And then we talked about fears, because we all have fears. We like to think we don't, but we all totally do. And as soon as we say, I'm not afraid of something in our head, if we're actually bringing it up and thinking about it, it probably is impacting us. So if I say I'm not afraid of snakes, number one, that's a lie, because I totally am freaked out and scared to death of snakes. But number two, as soon as I say I'm not afraid of them, guess what? I realize, okay, the reason that popped into my head, the only reason I thought of that was because I'm actually afraid of snakes. I can't stand snakes. Anything without legs that moves that fast totally creeps me out. The same is true of success, failure, thinking that we're not good enough. If those things pop into our head, even if we think we've gotten rid of them and let go of them in the past, they're still impacting us at a subconscious level. And we need to continuously be vigilant and work on letting them go, letting them go. And they will rear their ugly heads. Our beliefs about money are so ingrained in us from our entire life, we don't even realize that there's certain beliefs that are conflicting, that are acting on us subconsciously all the time. We have to catch ourselves. I was at the store yesterday and I actually had the thought, I can't afford this. And I started laughing because it was, like a $5 thing, or I don't need this. Now it's gone from I can't afford it because I know that better than that, to I don't need this. I don't need this. And now I just got rid of like 90% of my possessions because I didn't need any of them. There were things that I hadn't been using for at least 10 years. I'm like, why do I have all this stuff? So maybe that's part of my I don't need this thought process, but also it stems from old ingrained beliefs that are still operating at a subconscious level. And those are distractions. Actually, to me, shopping is a distraction. I hate going to the store for anything, but I happened to be at the store yesterday. So what distracts you? What gets you off track? And how far do you go down a rabbit hole before you even consciously realize that you're distracted? I think I'm getting better at it, but it's really hard because I tend to be a procrastinator. And again, that was one of the topics yesterday for the One Funnel Away challenge. It's not the how do I have to do this. I don't have to figure out how to do everything. It's who can already do this? Who can help me shortcut the time that it takes me to do something if I just get them to do it for me? And the power of that, the power of opportunity cost and things. And I love that topic. And that's why I like to go through this every once in a while. It's just a refresher to remind myself of these core basic concepts that sometimes we're not paying attention to. They're not in our conscious, so we don't even notice them. So what's distracting you right now? Right now, what's distracting you? Share in the comments below. And as soon as you acknowledge it and notice it, then it becomes less of a negative impactor and it doesn't distract you as much. It's really funny. It's like, as soon as I know I'm procrastinating, all of a sudden it's easy to stop procrastinating and take action in the direction of what I want, because I'm like, oh, I'm watching Netflix. Why on earth am I watching Netflix? Because I don't want to do X, Y, Z or X. And if I just take one step toward X, then I don't have to procrastinate anymore. I don't have to watch the boob tube, or I don't have to watch or do or read. A lot of times I'll want a personal development binge if I'm avoiding something. So that's how I was able to avoid moving for so long. All right, go out, make it an awesome day. Notice if you're being distracted. Share in the comments below what causes you to be distracted. If you need help with distractions, since I've got so much experience with it, I would love to help you, and I'll share some of the tricks with you that I use to get over procrastination and distraction. Just message me and I'll send you off some of my best ways of doing it. Go out and have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.